All right, guys. I know you guys saw the three little emojis in my thumbnail. You saw the horse, you saw the red boots, and you saw the unicorn. So let me just break down why those three emojis are on the thumbnail. These three emojis, they represent three different fan bases. They represent the Hotties, which is Megan the Stallion's fan base. They represent a Bardi gang, which is Bloody Shoes, that's Cardi B's fan base. And the other one is the unicorn, which it represents the Barbz, which is Nicki Minaj fan base. Now, let me tell you the reason why every single one of these fan bases play a role. Like it or not, fan bases, the history of fan bases is just enormous, to be honest with you. Fan bases play a role in each and every artist's career because when the general public stops listening to your music, the fan base plays a role because they promote you. They make sure you get to the top of the chart. They buy your music. They buy it on iTunes. They stream it. They follow you on all your social media platforms. They promote your brand, and in order to have all that, you build your platform, and obviously people that love you. Some of your fan base loves you for your music, which is great, and the other part, they love you for your personality. I know that doesn't really play a role, or people don't really look at that, but I think it's important because it's kind of like even when you don't put out music, they love you. Like, let's use an example like Rihanna, for instance. Rihanna hasn't put out music in a while, but the Navy, they still love her because she's Rihanna. You know what I mean? That she's doing other things. That's where the fashion comes in. That's where the beauty comes in. So it's not just about the music. These fan base, they go deep into these artists' lives, and they are kind of like their family. Now, the reason why the Barbs are involved is because the Barbs push Megan the Stallion. Let's just be honest with each other. Even though Megan the Stallion is an incredible artist, I think as a female MC, she's okay. Like, she's cool. You know what I mean? I can bop to her music. She's just that girl that she has the aesthetic to go with, her music. So even though sometimes her music doesn't, step up to the plate, her aesthetics, the way she moves, the way her stage presence, her aura plays a significant role. And I think that's why people fell in love with Megan the Stallion. Now, in Cardi B's part, I think it's her personality. Apart from Cardi B's music, Cardi B, before she became the Cardi B we know today, she had a huge social media presence. She was on Instagram, she was on Love and Hip Hop. So people already found her funny. And again, Cardi B kind of like came into the picture as this girl that wasn't really stuck up, and she was funny. She was kind of like a breath of fresh air. She brought a different taste to the culture in terms of she is easy to get along with, number one. Number two, she's funny. Number three, she's interesting. You know what I mean? You can watch her on live and find her interesting. You get what I mean? And she's open. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and people pick at her life, and she's okay with it, and she's accessible. A lot of these female artists are not really accessible. Cardi B is really accessible. She makes herself open to the public. She talks about social issues. She talks about other things that people don't really want to talk about, issues in the music industry. She's just like the comic relief of the industry, and at the same time, she's just a nice person. I think people just love her just because of her personality. So that plays a role. Now, in terms of Nicki, obviously her music, you know what I mean? Her longevity, her rhymes, her wordplay, the fact that, she's that bad girl of the culture that people don't really like, but because of her impact and because of how great her music is, it kept her in the industry to this particular point. So no matter, even if you don't like Nicki, you have to put up with her. You know what I mean? She's always gonna be there. She just made a name for herself. She has cemented her history. She has cemented her legacy. So no matter if the hate train doesn't like her now, she's always gonna be there. And she was able to, amass a certain amount of wealth before the hate train started. So even though you don't like her, she made her back. Period. That's just how it is. Now, the fan base, the Barb supported Megan the Stallion. They pushed Hot Girl Summer. They pushed Hot Girl Summer remix with Nicki Minaj. They obviously pushed a couple of other songs that she had. And the Barbs like Megan because she's that black girl of the culture. And, she's a dark skinned woman. And dark skinned women really don't get ahead in the culture. They always like either blackball them or push them aside. But Megan was that girl that we didn't allow that to happen. And the Barbz played a significant role. The Hotties were there, but the Barbz impact was huge on Megan's career, And again, because she liked Nicki, at first they thought that they were gonna put Megan and Nicki against each other. But after that live and they had their vibe, it was just natural. You could tell that they actually like each other and they fuck with each other. So from that moment on, the Barbz just, picked up and just they've been supporting Megan ever since. Even before the live stream with Nicki, they've been supporting her. But after that live stream, it was like, okay, we know Nicki and Megan, they are cool. You know what I mean? And even that time when Nicki got took a hiatus from her career, she wasn't on social media, and she won the Women in Music award. Even though Megan won an award, Megan took pictures with Nicki. It was just beautiful to see. Megan was kind of like the only girl in the culture that supported Nicki a certain way, like in this era, like that's 2019, 2020, then a little bit of 2018. You know what I mean? She was a person that we know that her and Nicki go together. You get what I mean? And Megan and Cardi haven't really clashed. Let's just be honest. The only time I know that Megan and Cardi had an issue, not really an issue, but I kind of like looked to the side, was one time when I think Cardi was interviewed at an award show, and people were asking her about twerking, and she mentioned the fact that, oh, you have to ask Megan the Stallion about that, or something to that nature, something in that line. You know what I mean? And Cardi didn't really say it in a malicious way, but people picked it up, and people are like, oh, so you've not mentioned Megan all this while, but now that you mentioned her, it's about twerking. So it was kind of like, but Megan really didn't take it seriously. I don't think Cardi took it seriously as well. And there was a particular time that Jason Lee kind of like inserted himself into the situation, and he said at one point he tried to bring Megan and Cardi together, and he tried to put them on the phone together to have a conversation. And I think that Jason Lee said that because he wanted there to be a collaboration between Megan and Cardi. He was trying to make it happen to bring these two girls together. But the way he said it, I think kind of rubbed people off the wrong way. It was almost like it was like an ambush. Like, why would you say that? I don't think Megan wanted people to know, or Cardi wanted people to know. But that was the only time we heard of Megan and Cardi doing anything until recently. So a page called Vault News, Vault Uncut, they put out an Instagram post about Megan and Nicki and Megan and Cardi. Excuse me, I apologize. They said, we just learned through a reliable source that Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion has a song dropping soon. We hear that they are currently shooting their music video in LA as we speak, and through the rest of the week. There will be a couple of celebrities making cameo appearances in the video. I can see that this will cause a lot of drama and speculation with other fan bases, but just remember, we heard it's where you heard it first. Thoughts. So that's what the Vault Uncut said. Shout out to them. When they said this, the whole social media went ballistic. Everybody was like, oh my god, what is happening? You know what I mean? But the main people that were talking were kind of like the Hotties, the Bardi gang, and the Barbz. You know what I mean? And people are like, the Barbz are not really happy because it's like, we don't really mess with Cardi like that. And for Megan to collaborate with Cardi, it's like, okay, you're taking a stand. You're going to the other side of the aisle. In terms of Megan, I think this is kind of like a money move for her. Cardi hasn't put out music in a while. And I think if they collaborate, it's going to hit the charts no matter what. It's going to have the views. YouTube is going to be popping, and everybody's going to post it. It's not going to be just, the Barbz and the Hotties that will post it, everybody, because Megan kind of like, she's not blackballed in the industry. I think Cardi isn't blackballed either. People actually like her. So I think if they collaborate, people are going to push it. We're going to see it playing on the radio. So it's going to bring a lot of monetary value to Megan and Cardi. On Cardi's end, I think this is a good move for Cardi because she hasn't put out music in a while. So I feel like she's kind of scared to put out music. So her collaborating with Megan is kind of like testing the waters. So she knows that it's a collaboration. So if anything happens, it's both of them together. You know what I mean? So it's smart for Cardi, to be honest with you. It's smart for her because it's like, it's definitely not going to flop. She knows that for a fact. And I think she has been scared to put out music because she has been gone for a while. She doesn't know how, you know, it is. Even though people have been anticipating her coming back to the scene, but still, she still has that. I know she has that look, or she has that inkling that, okay, what if it doesn't do well? What if it doesn't chart? What if it flops? You know what I mean? I'm going to be a laughing stock of the industry, yada, yada, yada. So her collaborating with Megan kind of assures her that, okay, it's going to do well, regardless. The Hotties are gonna push it. The Bardi gang are gonna push it, and it's gonna cause controversy. I'm sorry, it's gonna cause controversy because we know that Megan has an affiliation with Nicki, and Cardi and Nicki don't really mess with each other, even though they've not had issues in years. But we all know the history. We all know the history of Cardi and Nicki, the way they were pinned against each other by the industry, the way Nicki said something about her child. We don't really know that. Then obviously the Harper's Bazaar event where Cardi tried to physically get into an altercation with Nicki, but Nicki was kind of like far away with her guards and she was just yelling. And Cardi wanted to, get in the mix, but she couldn't because obviously security was there. And you're not really going to get to Nicki, let's be honest. When Cardi did that, it was kind of like a shock for a lot of people because that hasn't happened in a while. You see that on Love and Hip Hop and you see that on reality shows, but superstars, it's kind of weird. That's like hearing Rihanna got into a fight. It just doesn't happen in this century. It doesn't happen in this era. That era of them doing that is over. And people that do that, it's kind of like reality stars, not really like, big mainstream artists. So it was a shock, but it was controversy. So people ran with it. It was a big situation. It was. But aside from that, that's the only issue, to be honest with you. That's the only issue. In terms of Megan, people are going to throw out the word that, oh, she's a sellout. People are going to throw around that, oh, she's collaborating with, the lady that black women don't really fool with. A lot of black women mess with Nicki, but not really that much, and mess with Cardi, but not that well because of some of the problematic statements she has made about black women. So that plays a role, and a significant amount of Megan's Thee Stallion's followers and her supporters are black women, are Nicki fans. You know what I mean? Girls that mess with Nicki, that have seen her career, become what it is, and they've seen how they pushed Megan and Nicki, and they saw how all that happened, them topping the charts, the Doja Cat era, the Megan Thee Stallion era, the Nicki era, the part of the three girls in the industry collaborating, you know what I mean? And Cardi was kind of like left in the side. Cardi was left to collaborate with kind of like the guys and some of the women. That's the city girls on the other side. But Megan is kind of being like Nicki, Doja Cat, Megan, the rest of them on the other side, Cardi B on the other side. So this is kind of like breaking bread with the other side of the aisle. And I don't know how this is going to be for Megan's career. It's going to be good for her money-wise, but any other way, it's going to cause controversy. Either way, she's going to receive backlash. Either way, people are not going to like it. People are definitely not going to like it. The Hotties are not really going to be, and I'm not going to mind because the Hotties are on a roll. Because think about it, the Hotties had a record with Beyonce. That was cool. You know what I mean? So the Hotties are just winning because they know that Megan Thee Stallion is kind of like the it girl. Megan Thee Stallion has no beef with nobody. So she can collaborate. And if she collaborates with Cardi, it's going to cause controversy, but people are going to like it. People are going to stir the pot. It's going to bring traffic to Megan. It is 100%, no doubt. So it's kind of like a win-win situation for Hotties. I don't think the Hotties are really problematic. I've not really seen them fighting on social media, to be honest with you. Some of them feel like the Barbz only support Megan when she collaborates with Nicki or when she's, big up in Nicki, and that's the only clash I've seen. But aside from that, the Hotties kind of just push Megan, and the Hotties are growing. I'm not gonna lie, they are kind of like a small niche, but they are growing. They are growing. But I don't want this to be a situation where Cardi isn't gonna promote it because I don't want it to be like a Beyonce situation. I feel like Beyonce could have promoted, her record with Megan more. 100%, but she didn't really do anything. Even the BET Awards, I would have liked to see her and Megan, on stage together, making it happen or something. You know what I mean? Mention Megan and mention the record somehow. Appreciate her somehow. But for me, Beyonce really didn't really push it. She didn't push it that much. But I think Cardi's gonna push it. I think Cardi's gonna push it because they already have a music video. according to the vote. So that's going to stir a lot of stuff up. But anyways, guys, tell me what you think about this video. You can comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and tell me what you think. Overall, let's see what this brings. It's going to be good for the culture. It's going to be good for controversy. It's going to be good for business. So, you know, I'm with it. I'm okay. Like, if she likes it, I love it. But tell me, guys, tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.